What's going on, y'all? In the TV room, man. TA. Fixing to catch an Uber to this place, man. Pick me up an alternator. Alternator stopped charging on me. Battery light's been going off and on me. Then our alternator just stopped charging, so yeah, I'm fixing to take an Uber, man. Well, I got the alternator. Waiting on the Uber to come pick me up, take me back, put it on. Alright, so the first thing I did was I disconnected my batteries. And then with that 1/2-inch ratchet, I took off the belt from the alternator. Alright, so I got all the wires off except the ground wire on the bottom. This cable, that cable right there. Pretty sure that it's a 17, and I'm gonna try to reach it. It's kind of hard to get to. So I'm gonna try to reach it with that right there from the bottom. And that's how I was able to get it from down here. See how you got all these extensions? I got all them extensions. That's how I was able to get it. So thank God. So I was able to get that bottom ground bolt off, holding the ground wire on the bottom of the alternator. You see all the extensions I have, and it was a 17 fit, no slipping, didn't round it off or nothing. I used some black tape on my flex to keep it from flopping, so I could actually get it up on there. There's the alternator that I'm coming off with, the Leece-Neville alternator. I'm going back on with the Delco-Remy. So it's not the same alternator, but I believe it'll work. Alright, so I gotta take the old pulley off. I cleaned this up. There's an Allen key that goes right there. I think that's a pretty good fit. And but first I'm gonna try to take it off with this impact, just holding it. I hope that works. So the 1-inch impact took it right off, no problems. And I used some of this power loop. That's probably what helped it. And so now I'm gonna put that pulley on this alternator. All right, y'all. Getting this pulley off has so far has been the hardest obstacle that I ran into, and it's not one to come off. At first I tried to take it off myself, and I figured that, man, I probably should just go holler at the mechanic, see if I can shoot him some money to take it off with me real quick. And he tried. He put in a vise and everything, and he didn't have a puller though. I thought that's what I was hoping, that he would probably use a puller, but he gave up on it and said that he didn't think he could do it. So I'm back over here, and I'm gonna try to take it off myself, because I've seen it has moved a little. So I'm spraying lube on there, and I'm beating it down and then prying it back up, and hopefully I can get this pulley off like this. You see how I'm using those, I got those wrenches wedged in there. If that doesn't work, then right over here next to this TA, there's a Mac. Now they didn't have the alternator, but maybe they might have the pulley, but we'll see how this goes. This is what I'm doing now. Hopefully I can get this thing off without damaging it, and I'll let y'all know. Bam, I got it off, man. With them 2 wrenches and that hammer and a little bit of that power lube right there, I got it off. Thank God. What's going on, y'all? I'm over here. I got the alternator in the truck, but I held off on connecting the wires because I wanted to make sure that I understood the terminals and the remote sense, and so I just kind of took my time to finish completing that. And it's in the morning. I'm over here drinking my coffee, man, in the truck stop. But I want to show y'all, man. I got Tech Tool. I got a Nexic 2 adapter that I carry with me, but you know, so I can run diagnostics on the truck. You know, I can do, you know, like I said, I got premium Tech Tool. You know, I took the time, I took the money to invest in that, to have that on the truck. But I also have Volvo Impact, and I just want to show y'all what this is. You know, so this is like basically the same stuff that the people use whenever you call in asking for parts. You know, same thing, man. And I paid more for the computer than I did for the software. So all right, so here it is right here, man. Impact, Volvo Impact. Man, you can look up anything. So I've been looking at the alternator, been reading about the alternator. So, I mean, you know, and I got this on my truck, for my truck. You know, I thought it'd be a good investment for owner operator. You know, like, check it out, man. This thing, I mean, can you imagine? Look, we want to look up EGR cooler, how to replace. Let me see. Search. Let's see here. Where's it? Make sure you stop by a TA Travel Center or Metro Shopping Centers each Friday to enjoy an all-you-can-eat fish feast. I mean, look, it's got how to replace diesel particulate filter. I mean, turbocharger. I know it's got EGR. I just trying to. Let's check out. I wanted to show y'all the engine turbocharger replace. So, I mean, step by step. Chalk the wheels, disconnect the battery, take this pipe off, take this off. You know, it's got step-by-step instructions. Remove the screws. You see that? Remove, I mean, everything. This, I mean, for a do-it-yourself or owner-operator, this is like a, I mean, such a valuable tool. But I just wanted to share that with y'all. Maybe if y'all got a Volvo and y'all want this set up, and y'all don't want to pay the full price for the software, and not only that, but I got Tech Tool, I got Impact, and then I've got Developer Tool Professional, Volvo Wiring, and this is the adapter I use to connect the computer to the truck next to it. Team Viewer, the person that you get the software from, if y'all wanted the software, y'all let me know. I'll put y'all in contact with the person I got my software from. This is how he's gonna download it onto your computer, and then once you get PTT and you got your computer set up, then he can also come in through TeamViewer and help you diagnose anything that you may have on your truck, program, you know, guided diagnostics, you know, whatever you, because when you get PTT, you may not, you're probably gonna need some training on it, and so until you get to that point to where you can do the stuff yourself, well then somebody else can come through on TeamViewer and, you know, basically do stuff remotely. But anyhow, just wanted to share that with y'all, man. Well, finally got the new alternator on there. Got it hooked up right. Got no battery light no more. Charging at a perfect 14 volts. No codes or nothing on the dash, so I'm happy, man. I'm thankful. What's going on, y'all? It's Kelly here. Finished the alternator. Just wanted to share some information with y'all. If y'all are if y'all find yourselves going through the same thing that I just now recently went through. So the original alternator on my truck, the Leece-Neville, that's the name brand, that's the manufacturer of the alternator, started acting up on me. The battery light would go off and on intermittently. I even had some warnings where my light control module was operating in high voltage mode, and it was just real sporadic. It just come and go. And I was trying to, you know, I was thinking maybe it might have been some kind of loose connection, loose ground or something, and I checked and I double checked everything. It just kept on coming back. And I didn't really suspect it being a faulty alternator, because, you know, my alternator was still charging. But then came, today's Monday, this happened on Friday morning. Whenever I started the truck up, I seen that the alternator wasn't charging, and as I was with the truck on, I seen that my voltage on the system steadily started to drop, just drop. Got down to like 10 volts, and then I started getting these codes coming up for like turbo actuator and these codes for like you know, just these random codes. And so it stopped me, man. What I did was I stopped the truck and turned it off, and then I used my reefer to charge up the batteries on the truck for a minute. And luckily I wasn't parked. I was delivering, and I wasn't too far from the TA, so I charged up my batteries on the truck before I left the receiver, and then that got me to the truck stop. So anyways, what I did there, once I got parked, I caught an Uber to this happened in New York, in Montgomery, New York. There's a TA right there, and there's also a Mac dealership right next to the TA. I called them up. They said they didn't have it. Probably take about 4 or 5 days for them to get the alternator. They was wanting $900 for the alternator they had. I don't know if it was a Delco-Remy or if it was the Leece-Neville, but whatever it was, they wanted $900 for it. So talked with my sis, and I called around again, and I called this place called Arkell Motors in Newburgh. They had the alternator. So they had the Delco-Remy 40 SI 300 amp alternator, big alternator, $1,500 for it. So got an Uber over there, picked up the alternator, came back, and started with changing out the alternator. I keep my truck detailed. I try to force myself to go beyond go beyond the minimum whenever I do stuff with my truck. So whenever I took my alternator off, and I didn't get very much video of this because whenever I was doing this, remember, my batteries is dead. My alternator's not charging. So my phone went dead, and I wasn't able to get all the footage, but I was videotaping all the way up to where my phone went to like 5%, because I wanted to get that footage. But anyhow, when I took my alternator off, basically my motor is pretty much spotless, except right there behind where the alternator was, because it's hard to clean right there. So whenever I finally took my old alternator off, I got the cans of brake cleaner out, wire brush, cleaned that, detailed that area, and then my engine harness, the wires that go to my ground wires, and the wires that go to the alternator and all that, I put protector on there, the wire protecting sheath, and put black tape and zip ties, and just made it real nice and neat, and got the alternator back on there, and then I was able to figure out how to, I knew the ground wires and the big power wire that goes to the alternator. I was able to figure that out. But there's two little wires on the Volvo that connects to the alternator. And my old alternator, the Leece-Neville, the terminals on it are different. They're marked different from the terminals on the Delco-Remy. Plus, the Delco alternator has a remote sense. So I learned about that. So basically, what I would like, the main wires, the ground wires, and the big power wire that goes to the alternator, I knew that. I figured that out. And I should have took better pictures before I started, but I thought I took good pictures, but it really wasn't. I couldn't rely on those pictures. So I hooked up the alternator without putting the two little wires on there, because I learned that the alternator will still charge without those. But I still wanted to get those right. That's just the way that I am. I wanted to make sure that it's right, that it's correct. So that's the reason why I kind of held off on it, connecting them until I knew for sure exactly where to put them. So from reading the instructions on the alternator and reading about remote sense and everything, I learned that I needed to run a direct wire a 16 gauge wire with the inline fuse directly from the positive post of the battery to the S terminal on the Delco-Remy, which stands for sense. And so I did that, and then I went to Volvo Truck Masters, the forum on Facebook, and I consulted with a tech. The guy's been working for Volvo for years and years and years, and he gave me the information I needed, man. So if y'all find yourself in the same situation, and if y'all are going with a Delco-Remy alternator, there are two little wires. If y'all have a Volvo and y'all are messing with y'all's alternator, y'all know what I'm talking about. There's two little wires that go to the alternator from the engine harness, and one of them is slightly longer than the other one. The longer wire goes to the I terminal, and the shorter wire goes to the R terminal. So I didn't hook those up until I got direct confirmation from the guy on Volvo Truck Masters, who is a tech, been working there for years, man. I think he's been working there over 20 years. And he shot me the information, and I hooked it up the way that he said. Like I said, the longer wire to the I terminal and the shorter wire to the R terminal. And then I got the wire that I ran from the positive post to the alternator hooked to the S terminal. On the Delco-Remy, S stands for sense. R stands for relay. It does not stand for remote. R stands for relay. So anyhow, got that done, man. And that all this started on Friday. I had to cancel the load that I was supposed to be picking up on Saturday. Finished the work off on Saturday, sat Sunday, picked up Monday. Today's Monday, and now I'm about to deliver in Fredericks, Virginia. $900 next day delivery, so that ain't that bad. Plus, I'm only got 5,000 pounds in the box. A bunch of some kind of the candies, the suckers that are like ring pops, yeah. So anyhow, yeah, that's what's been going on. Just wanted to share that with y'all, just in case y'all are going through this. If y'all are going through this and y'all want a resource where you can reach out to somebody, and you can read about it. You can read about the posts that I put about this, or read about any kind of issue you have with your truck, man. Once again, I want to recommend to y'all Volvo Truck Masters Facebook group, man. Check it out. It's a wealth of information. And yeah, that's it. Peace.